but Arsenal's just low standards. It doesn't really count. I'm talking about a big club.
What do you do with people like this? What do you do?
Yes, people, welcome back to the first XI. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, you know what to do. WanBishockaaa. It's a WanBishockaaa, it's not Ollie Shocker. I'm actually sick of it. I'm sick of watching it, the same old thing. I said the same thing after Southampton. Ollie does not learn from his mistakes, his flaws. He's not improving on them. The players that he had on the pitch, the substitutions, the in-game management, the mentality of the players. That's a big issue for me, a huge issue. And that comes from the top, that comes from the manager. It's now time for me that the club should be looking for a new manager. I'm not saying sack him right now. I'm saying find that's the club's job right now, is to find Ollie's replacement, because I don't think whether you're the biggest Ollie inner or outer, I think everyone can agree that he's not an elite manager. The squad has improved, and although we do need, as Rachel will say forever, a midfielder, we need that DM and a right back. That's 2 or 3 players needed now. That's 2 or 3 players needed, and I think Ollie's gone as far as he can. I don't think we're not going to see the improvements that we need to see from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. There are huge flaws in his game, and I said it earlier on a space. He has panic mode, safety mode, limp mode, Ollie mode. And that's what happens in games. It's always the same thing. Like, we couldn't control the midfield. It was just shocking. Everything about it was shocking. And I've heard people blame the pitch, blame the referee, blame Jesse Lingard, blame WanBishockaaa himself. That they're not good enough excuses. Like, we've got to stop making excuses and say and see it for what it is. The manager isn't good enough. It's a fact. The manager is not good enough. We've always known that, and I've always been Ollie in for the rebuild myself, because I think we would struggle to find somebody who could take Manchester United back to where it needs to be in terms of the structure. But in terms of winning games of football and being consistent, he's not the guy. He's never going to be the guy. And at what point do you say this is enough? Or what point do you say now it's time for a new manager? I think they need to be looking for one right now. They need to have one in place. Be ready for that. And if needed, go and get him before January, if we need to do that. Because my point is, and I said this on the terrace earlier, on the football terrace, is it's okay saying it's one game in the Champions League, but what happens if you get to the knockout stages and you have that same type of performance? It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. You can either compete or you can't. And that's where I am with it. I never thought I'd be sort of like Ollie out, but I'm honestly really getting there. I don't know how you feel about it, Rachel, but
well, I've always been Ollie out since we've spoken, to be fair. I agree with you about him, about the in-game management and the decisions that he made. But I disagree a little bit with the part where you said that we can't we can't look at the players and see that as an excuse. I think that, I'm sorry, but WanBishockaaa getting sent off literally changed the whole game. And it literally comes down to what we spoke about with WanBishockaaa, where this isn't the first time he's done this, where he's literally miscontrolled a simple ball and he's had to overstretch to make up for it. Sometimes he gets the ball. Sometimes he's given fouls away, and today he gets sent off. So this isn't the first time. He's literally done it in every game he played so far this season. So,
would you agree it's about how you adapt after that, though, Rachel?
No, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. The decisions after were bad, of course. Like, I didn't like. I told you before, like during the game, I said I didn't like the back five. I didn't like the fact that it came off. Like, I absolutely agree with that. But at the end of the day, we got put down to 10 men. And then, we lost the game in the final few minutes from an individual error from Lingard. as well. So look, there's a combination of things here, and I think both sides of it are to blame. Like Ollie, we've seen this before. You know my feelings on him, and like I don't think he's good enough. But there's also the fact that some of these players aren't good enough. And when people get excited about some of the players that we have, and we do have some exciting players, I always sit there and say, like, I don't believe in this team the way other people do. I think we should be challenging and all that kind of stuff, but you know,
Rachel's young boys, no, it's not.
I don't trust them. I don't trust any of them. I don't trust the players or the manager, because it wasn't just that.
Inter Milan.
Pogba today, Bruno today. These two are supposed to be our two best, like two among our best players, and they were shocking.
Bruno lost his head, didn't he?
Yeah, Bruno lost his head. Pogba was crap before the 10 men. He was crap before the 10 men. Yeah. So what are we saying here? That, you know, our two of our bigger players, the ones that are expected to carry us towards titles and whatnot, they didn't turn up today either. So we can't blame that on the man. There's a mentality issue there.
I get the whole individual areas with Lingard. I get that, and I get the WanBishockaaa one. But for me, it's still a mentality problem, because the golfing class with the players is huge. Yeah. When you look at the two teams, how can you not get control of that midfield? How and how does it get to the stage where you're conceding those goals? And you can say, I've seen people say that it was Varane's fault for the first goal. How does the ball get there in the first place?
Yeah,
why are we not controlling
Indiana? How many times have I said to you about this? About with Luke Shaw, yeah. One of the things I can't stand is how he's so slow to go out across it, to close down crosses in those areas. He did it in the Luke Shaw breakdown. I literally spoke about this. He's so slow to go out towards crosses. It bugs the crap out of me.
Yeah, but why? Why is he slow to do that?
He's all like this.
He's obviously being told to stay narrow.
No. That's not the problem. The problem isn't the fact that he's narrow. The problem is when the ball is played into the wider area, he doesn't run towards the player crossing the ball to close it down quick enough. He's never done that. He doesn't close it down quick enough. He limps towards it. That's what he does every time. Just if you go back and watch it, like I've seen so many clips of this where there's no urgency when the ball gets into that area. There's fine being narrow, right? For the reason you get your whole team to shift over to that side. But when the ball is played into an area where he's supposed to be closing that player down, he doesn't do it quick enough. He's never done it quick enough.
I don't see any of these things as an excuse for the second half. No shots on goal, no corners.
It
was all zero, right? Everything was zero.
Yeah. We were basically playing like we were freaking Barnsley.
Didn't we have 39% possession?
Yeah, no, it was shocking. Like, trust me, I know it was shocking. It was shocking, and the substitutions. I don't agree with. I don't think Donny should have been taken off. He's one of the few players that can keep the ball. I actually thought that it would have been better to have a midfield three of Fred, Matic, and Van der Beek, because you've got a bit of control. You've got Fred for the energy and whatnot. Even though Fred had a very good second half, by the way, so kudos to him. He did have a very good second half. Funny enough, he was actually worse when we were at 11 men than we were at 10. But if you have a midfield three like that where you can try and control the game, especially because Bruno decided to go off and do his own thing. I don't know what he was doing in that game. It was shocking what he was doing. Running all over the pitch like a madman, like we didn't need a bit of composure in the game. Doing all these sort of flicks and tricks when it's not needed. Stupidity like that really bugs me. He does that a lot, Bruno. But that was poor. Paul Pogba was poor as well. I mean, people are making excuses for some of these players because it's the first Champions League game, but don't offer the same sort of thing towards the manager. So I don't really know what people expect here. Like, at the end of the day, everything was bad. Manager, players.
I don't think there's an excuse for either of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's no excuses.
There are none. There are no excuses whatsoever. I don't think it's you can.
I would have taken Ronaldo off. I would have taken Ronaldo off after the red card and put Martial in.
Yeah, to hold
straight
up
away,
the ball.
to hold the ball up and get involved in the game more. I agree with you. Like, if you do that and then you have Donny on the pitch and Matic in there,
I didn't like the Lingard thing either, right? Because people were saying it was to bring energy, right? I understand that. The thing is, he was the only person bringing energy, and when he's the only person bringing energy, he's just running around like a headless chicken. It's not organized. So it's all well and good saying you want energy.
That's it, right? It's chaos. It's chaos because although I can see see Ollie's thought process of putting Lingard on. I didn't disagree with it completely, because you never know what you're going to get from Jesse Lingard, and it does rely on everybody behind him keeping the ball, right?
Yep.
Like he will, if everything's running as it should, if that makes sense. Lingard will offer you something. He will offer you something. If not, then he does do what we've seen today and just runs around like a headless chicken. And that's not, there's no.
But he's not the best of outlets. Like
No, he's not the best of outlets. But he will allow you. He will allow you, if we can keep the ball in the midfield. He will allow you to move up the pitch. And so, my other issue with that then is who scores the goals. I didn't
score a goal. This is the thing. Another thing that bugs me. Right, this is the thing that bugged me the most. I tweeted this out, and I was like, we shouldn't be bending over for this team. Like we shouldn't, like the way we set up was literally just take your best shot sort of thing, and they took two. My issue is like the attitude was all wrong, right? So I thought that we get to half time, it's 1-0, we reorganize. Don't drastically change things, because playing in the three at the back it's not an easy formation just to change to.
But I would no, it's not an easy thing to change to. But I don't think I would have done it that way. I don't think I would have. I would have brought Varane on, but I wouldn't. I would have taken Lindelof off.
Oh, I see.
I would have put Luke Shaw in the three. Personally, is what I would have done, and I would have kept Van der Beek on, brought Matic on, and put Martial on. So you would have had three. So you would have had three centre backs, and then had four midfielders. Yeah.
No, sorry. Yeah, but then who would have played left wing back? Then you're playing 3-5-1. That's basically what you'd want, right? So I don't understand.
So I would have played. I would have played I still would have had Lingard on the pitch, but I would have played him on the left more. Personally, I think he would have offered a little bit more from that position than he would up top. Because I still think Lingard. What was he on for? Half an hour, 40 minutes. Like he's got an engine for full. Hang on. There's a comment here I've seen from Hassan. Indiana, am I mad when I say Ronaldo make your team take 2 steps back? Your team too heavily reliant on him. Your squad will have 5-6 goals with Ronaldo having 30 plus.
Because Bruno's already on like 4, Greenwood's on like 3 or 4 already. So that's not going to happen. And Rashford will come in and score. Martial will eventually score. That's not true at all. Ronaldo won't take the team 2 steps back. It's nothing to do with Ronaldo per se. Ronaldo will be fine. He wasn't the issue in this game.
I think he has. I think the signing of Ronaldo has, because I agree
with that part.
I still firmly believe that we would have signed Kieran Trippier. Right, I still think we would have signed Trippier if we didn't sign Ronaldo.
Probably. We'll probably get Trippier in January or something. That's what I'm expecting, to be honest with you. Because I'm tired about WanBishockaaa. Like
the WanBishockaaa.
Can't be bothered.
Also, I think if Cavani's fit, that's a different game today. I think Cavani comes on, it's a different game.
No, I don't think we were that. Like people were saying that we were terrible before the sending off. I disagree. I think we were average. We weren't amazing or anything, but we would have been fine. At the end of the day,
I don't think we were great.
No. I didn't say we were great. I said we were average. Like I don't think we were like terrible. I just think we were just average sort of game. And like everyone knows, we're like we always start off slow in games and then we pick up in the second half. At the end of the day, Ollie doesn't seem to know how to handle being down to 10 men, and it's very clear.
No, he can't adapt. That's my issue. He can't adapt. And no, Valve, it wasn't a penalty on Ronaldo. Before you go into that, I want to read Lauren's comment as well. Big up Lauren. 10 men or not, I can still see City, Liverpool, or even Chelsea doing the team over by 3 goals. They would never sit back against young boys. And that's my that's my biggest issue, because
I disagree with the Chelsea part. But
it's Manchester United.
yeah,
Like attack. That's what I want to see. Like it was so negative. Like holding on to a 1-0. Like I didn't understand it at all. I didn't understand. They knew straight away. The minute Ollie done that, you could see Wagner's eyes light up. The players just lit up on the pitch. It was. I just knew. I actually put in one of my group chats. When Ollie made the first subs, I was like, "We're in trouble. We're in trouble straight away."
Yeah, I genuinely thought that what was going to happen was he wasn't going to change the shape so much. He was just going to sort of talk to the guys and tell them just to be disciplined and just chill. And instead, he changed the shape, and it looked like he didn't have a conversation with certain players on that pitch to say, "Calm your crap," and just try and keep the ball. Because the fact that Bruno, and I'm coming back to Bruno again, because he made me want to punch my TV today. Him and Pogba just annoyed the crap out of me. Luke Shaw did as well. I cannot understand for the life of me how someone sits there with 10 men and he decides you're going to run all over the pitch and do nothing because you're doing like a one-man press. You can't do that. The rest of your team is sort of sitting back a bit and you're just all you're doing is running. You're not doing anything productive. So that needs to be sorted out. And I'm sorry, but that does come down to the manager as well. Because how is it?
I don't think it will be.
Hmm?
I don't think it will be sorted out. That's my issue.
No, I understand it. Trust me. Like, I'm not gonna stick up for Ollie completely. I just want people to understand that it's not just the manager. As much as I dislike Ollie as a manager, it's also about the players as well. Because these aren't kids that we're playing here. These are winners. These are Champions League winners. These are World Cup winners. They have to take some responsibility for what happened in that game, especially when their performances were that bad.
But if it's a mentality problem, then the tone is set from the manager, right?
I don't always agree with that either, because at the end of the day, we've had these same players when we're playing poorly and things aren't going our way. We've had these same players step up in key moments as well. So for me, that signals that they pick and choose, and that's unacceptable to me as a football player. You can't pick and choose.
But you can't allow that though, Rachel. That's my point. Do you think a Klopp would allow that to happen? I don't think so.
I mean, we've seen certain players in the Liverpool team not play well, and he's kept playing them. But then by the same token, he also didn't have a choice sometimes. It's the same thing with what's his name, with Ollie at times. I mean, today he made poor decisions. I agree, he made poor decisions. But I also agree that players need to take responsibility for their own actions. They're fully grown men, Indiana. Like, these aren't children, and I'm sick and tired of people constantly sticking up for players and giving them free passes. At the end of the day, it's
I think they've all got to take responsibility, haven't they? They've all got to take responsibility, but it isn't the first time that it's happened. This is not the first time. I know Danny's probably going to go at me for it, but for me, that this does stem from the manager. When I keep seeing it, and I keep seeing this weakness in the players and not stepping up, I can't get my head around it, because, like you said, you have Champions League winners, World Cup winners. Somebody's got to take responsibility in there. It has to happen. And at Manchester United, every single player should be taking responsibility.
But don't.
That's the club I grew up watching.
No, I agree. But the thing is, like, okay, if we want to compare it to like our best and most incredible teams, right? Even if Fergie made a bad mistake with, say, a substitution or the way he set up the team, the players that we had would take responsibility for their own performances as well. And this is the thing about the players that we have in our team. Our so-called best players are not. No one's taking responsibility for anything. You know what I mean? They are senior players. So yes, I agree. Ollie made mistakes today. He absolutely did. Like, during the game,
I hear that, but why?
Had the same. What do you mean, why?
Why are they not taking responsibility for that on the pitch? That's the question. It's not.
Do you know? Look, the players failed the test today, and so did Ollie, and they failed the test of going down to 10 men. The problem that I have is that people they're not. You're talking like we lost 11 versus 11, perfect conditions, blah blah blah. Like it has to be in the context of Ollie did not react well to going down to 10 men.
Yeah.
And it was just, there's so many factors. This is why I didn't want to see the type of changes that people were calling for on Twitter. You can mock young boys, their levels to Champions League. It's the Champions League.
Yep.
You can't have passengers in that competition. I was saying in the space in the afternoon. So Alex Ferguson, he make a point. We're going away to Panathinaikos. We're talking prime 99 team. Go get 1-0 away from home. Just go get the 1-0. It's Champions League football. So all of this young boy stuff, forget all of that shit. It's Champions League football. And ultimately it falls on Ollie because he keeps picking these players when he needs to understand how to mitigate their flaws now. He's going into his third season. So Paul Pogba was having a shocker when we had 11 men, when we were 1-0 up. How does he finish the game? He was shit. He couldn't win 50-50s. There was a point in the second half where Pogba wins the ball back and found a way to give it back to them.
Is that when he got tackled by two guys just after the half?
Yeah, but he won the ball back and then somehow got into a battle. I'm like, you should have been gone. The second battle shouldn't have happened. You should have been gone already. It just sums up the type of game he was having. Like, he was never, like, passing success rate was like 75%. But
this is the thing, though, Danny, right?
Paul
Pogba especially has had. I don't think he's had a great start to the season. I know he's got in the assists, which is ironic because how people view GA and whatnot. But I think he has another 3 levels to go up because we've seen better from Paul Pogba, and he hasn't been that great. But people will make the excuses for him.
But team, that's what I'm pissed off about. It's not even so much Pogba's performance. It's Matic should have started, and then he should have came on at halftime. Even if you take Donny off, people say you shouldn't take Donny off. I don't even care about that. It's Matic has to be in that midfield. We know if you want to keep the ball, Matic is your number one choice. It's not even Pogba. It's Matic is your number one choice if you want to keep the football.
You say that, Danny.
In the group chat, he's the only dictator on our team, Matic. He's the only one that controls football matches in our team.
But do you think Ollie didn't start him because of the pitch though?
I think Ollie didn't start him because I don't know if it's science. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I don't know.
Those pitches are tough on your body, like those hard pitches, and we know he's had like the injuries, and I think it's a good chance he'll want to keep him for the Premier League.
The problem is though, Ollie, you can't make that excuse for Ollie because he plays injured players, right? He cares about the result more than anything, so that doesn't even work.
Yeah, but when Matic is injured, he's injured.
True.
He's not playing.
But again, I said at the time, I thought he was going to go 4-4-1. So when he went to the back 5. I was seeing this narrow midfield. And we have to talk about Bruno Fernandes. So for people who forget, Bruno Fernandes thought it'd be a good idea from the right hand, from playing as a fucking my brain is dead. An RCM, a right-sided central midfielder. That's his position, and he pressed the player into the left side of the pitch. Ended up in the left wing position, basically pressing somebody.
Yeah.
What a fucking idiot.
Do you remember when we did that Bruno breakdown, Danny? You guys remember? And I said that he needs to learn energy management.
His lack of I'm just gonna show everybody how hard I'm chasing this guy. No. We need to stay in our fucking shape.
Yeah.
Fucking sorry, I'm swearing so much in the stream.
That's right, it's half 11.
Just the lack of this is borderline unprofessional.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you're trying to look at me, I'm pressing. No, keeping the shape. Like, and that's how they ended up getting into that position to make that cross. I'm so traumatized. Someone told me Maguire made a mistake on the cross. I don't even know if it's true.
Oh no, I heard it was Varane.
It was Varane. Varane was the one that was trying to block it. But to be fair to him, when the cross came in, so first of all, Luke Shaw didn't close him down quick enough. I don't care what anyone said. He jogged towards that guy. And then the second part was that the ball came off of Luke Shaw. I think it took the deflection off of Luke Shaw. And then it went into the path of Varane and the player, and the guy snatched his leg out. So it was quite difficult, to be fair, because it was a deflection at the end of the day when the cross came in. But
this is the thing.
This is the point here.
Shaw. Don't get it twisted. There were some shit performances today, but certain guys like WanBishockaaa, just a joke. Luke Shaw, you can do little good things on the ball. I'm not being fooled by him. Like he's not in the condition he should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like Van der Beek did well, cool. Pogba was shit. Bruno actually had a good game when he was 1-0 up, but just the lack of ball retention and just it's just a combination of things. Like Ollie, it falls on him, of course. Like there's no doubt about that. He could have made tactical changes to mitigate against what was a shit show of a performance from the players once we went down to 10 men. So overall, I've got ammunition for everybody. I've got ammunition for everyone. Everyone can get a shot to their head as far as I'm fucking concerned. But again, it's an isolation of this game. This idea that we're going to get Europa League football, we're not going to qualify from the group, the season's over, we have to sack Oli now. I mean, look, if you want to sack him, you want to get Luis Enrique, cool. I'm not convinced about this Zidane thing. I'm sorry, I'm just not. Does he even speak English? I'm just not convinced about Zidane.
No, the worst one's the Conte one. I'm sorry.
I just messaged somebody about that in a space.
No Conte, no Poch. No Conte, no Poch. That's where I am.
And again, that's not an excuse for not sacking Oli. I'm just saying, ultimately, we want to win the league and the Champions League. Yeah, and again, I don't care what anybody says. It's my fundamental belief. He built this team. He gets the season with the team. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Like, you want to talk about wasting Ronaldo. I didn't want Ronaldo. I didn't want him. I wanted a midfielder. I wanted a right back. I don't give a fuck about wasting him. Like, I don't care. I don't care. Give him the season. Let him sink or swim. But don't get twisted. I keep saying, people will realize when another manager comes in, some of these players that these people hold dear, they'll be exposed with a new manager as well. I don't need Ole Gunnar Solskjaer not to be the manager for me to understand some of these players take the fucking piss sometimes. Honestly. Like, how is Fred having a better game? Fred was actually retaining the ball. Fred's fast.
Yeah, I thought he was good in the second half.
Fred was very good today.
I thought he was really good.
Very good today.
So here we are again in a big moment. Champions League, Europa League final. Scott McTominay is better than Bruno and Pogba. Here we are today. Fred's better than Bruno and Pogba in the second half. Bruno's trying flicks. Did I bring this up a few minutes ago? I don't know if I did.
You did.
But see, that's how pissed off I am. This idiot. You're trying to flick. You haven't kept the ball, and you think it's appropriate to try a flick on the halfway line.
See, the thing is, when we that was my biggest question. The first thing I thought when WanBishockaaa was sent off was, what happens to Bruno now? First was, what happens to Bruno, and what will we see from Ronaldo? Those are my two questions, because we already knew Dallo was coming on, right? That was going to happen.
Yeah, and that made sense. Fine, cool.
Yeah, that made sense. But
I just didn't like the back three change. I'm sorry, I didn't like that at all. I didn't like the fact that we sort of submitted to them, and then we made these midfield changes that didn't make sense to me either.
But also, Rachel, he took off Sancho, and I'm like, Sancho weren't having a good game. Probably weren't going to. But what is it? But keep people who are going to run with the ball. Like, I get Pogba, and I tweeted at the time, like, look, if all he needs to really look at is Pogba going to have a better game. If he's not, take him off. Take him off. Just, my God, just what
I would have put Martial on earlier.
Yeah,
he would have held the ball up. I would have went
4-3-3. Matic is the holding player. For me, you keep Fred on so you can play Ronaldo wide left. That's why I would have kept Fred on the pitch and took off Donny van der Beek. You want to keep Bruno in there. You want Fred, Matic in a free. So Matic is playing as a pivot, of course, and then.
But don't you think?
I wouldn't have done that.
We still get exposed?
I would have done
Matic,
Fred and Van der Beek.
But you do that just based on the idea you're going to keep possession. It's not to counter-attack. He set up to counter-attack. And
no, but I'm talking about balance, Danny. Like, because we know what Bruno will do.
Yeah, this is what I said. I said I would have preferred a midfield three of Matic, Van der Beek, and Fred. That's what I would have preferred as the three.
Then put Bruno out wide. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, well. I agree. That's what I would have done, because you know that Bruno loves to run around and whatnot, but at least you have a stable midfield three. You've got Matic, you've got Fred with the energy, you've got Van der Beek who can, like, all three of them could keep the ball. Well, two of them could keep the ball. Fred had a good game of keeping the ball, as you said. So,
but actually, you know what? You should just top Bruno off, because when we went 4-4-1 in the first half, look how shit Bruno was on the right.
Yeah,
Bruno's
that's what I'm saying.
Position. When people tell me he's an 8, I'm like, in a 4-3-3, it's different, right? In a two, in just his positional discipline, his positional awareness, Bruno, is just so loose.
No, I agree.
Yeah, no,
Who was it in the space that you were in, Danny, when they were saying that I told you guys that you should be playing Bruno wide, you should be playing him in the middle? I'm like, are you serious with that? You can't just play Bruno out wide. All you'll do is he'll just leave gaps there.
Is it Mo that makes that point? Someone does it.
Yeah, it's not a United fan that does it. I just remember listening to that. I was like, what are you talking about? That doesn't even make sense.
Ultimately, though, at the end of the day, like, even if he picked the right formation, he still got the players wrong to keep on the pitch anyway.
Yeah, exactly that.
Even if it goes 4-3-3, 4-4-1, you kept Bruno and Pogba on the pitch way too long. They were garbage.
Yes.
Thinking out the joint.
No, exactly. That's what I mean. This is what I'm saying. Like you can blame the players. You can blame the players. If we'd have gone like 5, let's say we're further into the season, we've gone 5 games, and there's individual errors like, I don't know, a Fred mistake or a Jesse Lingard today, but we were actually playing well through the game. That's different for me. A whole half without a shot on target, not a corner, nothing.
Yeah. Not an attempt.
Not
even an attempt. That's what I'm saying. That's
the closest we got was the Ronaldo penalty incident, which wasn't a penalty. But even then, I thought Ronaldo should have shot with his left foot. I don't know about you guys, right? I don't think he needed to go down there. I think he could have actually shot there. I think it was poor from him that he did that.
If that's Martial, he gets a shot on target.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's usually what Ronaldo does. Ronaldo is usually confident from there, even on his left foot. He scores that usually. I don't know what he was thinking there to try and get.
I think he just had a bad touch anyway. He didn't get momentum on a touch. That's why he didn't get away from the player.
He did.
That's really what it was. It was a bad touch.
It was that. It was a bad touch, and I think he knocked himself off of balance. Actually,
he took a bad touch, then was off balance, and in the second touch he couldn't get away, so he fell over. If he gets the first touch right, he's gone and he's finishing.
No, it's just things didn't go very well today.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to the West Ham game, despite what happened tonight, because ultimately playing this team, like even with 11 players, the balance is delicate defensively anyway. So actually, based on what we've seen this season, it makes sense this fucking happen. Although, like, they were shooting from distance for the most part and just crossing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were seeing that game out. That's why it's the fact that we lost in the end. Like,
it's the way that we lost.
Yeah,
it's not that we lost. It's the way that we lost.
Yeah, the thing is, they were getting into position. I know we like to get allow them to have it wide and get crosses and deal with the crosses, right? I get that part. But it was so easy for them to get the crosses into the box. It felt like there was no resistance from us at times. We just submitted to them. That's what bugs me the most about it.
But that's why the midfield 3 with the back 5 made no sense, because it was a back 5. It weren't even like, it's not even like they were transitioning to 3-4-3. Like we had the ball fine, but defensively it was literally a narrow 3, which is an absolute. It's a disgrace, because we come up against that system. You play down the sides easy. Mm-hmm. Go with a 4-4-1. Go with a 4-3-3. Go with a system that gives you wide midfielders so you can double up. Like, I'll never understand why he went to that back 5. Again, I don't know who is listening to. I don't know who it is, but
apparently it was McKenna.
Yeah, but he was talking to Carrick as well. People just
I know.
It could have been either one of them. Ultimately, it's his decision.
What do you guys make of this, by the way? 7 L's from 11 Champions League games. Is that true?
Yeah.
I didn't realize the record was that bad. That's
Yeah, it's terrible. This is what I mean. He doesn't. We're not learning. We're not learning from our mistakes. Well, they're not. And so it's you can say
he lost it. He's lost 7 games.
Yeah,
he's lost 7. How?
Is it group? No, it could be group stage games.
No, but group stage games, he lost 3 last season. He's lost this game, which is 4, and then he had a knockout competition, which he would have lost 1 game, which is 6.
No, but we did lose to PSG.
Unless they count it as 7 because it's 2 legs.
Yeah, we lost to PSG in the first leg, and then we lost to Barcelona. Didn't we lose to Barcelona home and away? In the
no, we beat PSG, right?
We beat them once, and then we lost once. in
Oh,
the
okay.
first leg, didn't we? Is that how they're counting it? Maybe.
They might be doing that. They're sneaky. Who knows what they're doing?
Yeah.
There you go. Was.
It's still a poor
Big up
record.
Was.
Oh,
Was
big up.
says, big up. Yes, zero regarding shots, corners, second half. Subs didn't make sense. Frantic. What's he say? Can you read that, Rachel?
Pisses me off when we can't keep the ball. Ill-disciplined, weak management, not subbing players, big players off. We spoke about that, getting off Pogba and Bruno and whatnot. Awful.
Yeah, those two are a joke.
Yeah, no, I agree. Devon asked, when will Cavani start again? Couldn't he be into
He wasn't fit.
this weekend?
Well, I mean, he didn't
possibly.
get a preseason. Last year, I know he had a Copa America, but he didn't get fit till November. So
He would have been perfect for this game, by the way.
well, not with 10 men.
I think so.
Listen, there's nothing that would have just.
No. I mean, if you're talking about having a front man on,
Yeah, I don't think
out of our
think
options, I would have had Cavani.
Just based on the decisions that Oli made, nothing saves this match. And ultimately, look, we lost.
No, I'm with you
there.
there.
We lost the game.
I'm with you
Like,
there.
I don't understand how Lingard does that at the end. I don't.
Oh yeah, no.
It made no sense, did it? It made no sense.
That's why you clear dead wood, man. Like, as much as
In our group chat, Danny, I don't know whether you've seen it, but I put in there the minute. I think it was. I think when Donny came off or Matic came on. No, Lindelof came on. I wrote in our group chat like, we're in trouble.
I need to understand it though. Why is it that Lingard came on and not Martial? Lingard was a player that we were looking to sell this summer, right? So as far as Oli was concerned, he was surplus to requirements, right? So he didn't leave for whatever reason. And he brings him on to play up front.
you know, that tells me.
Because he's a runner. It's crazy to me. Does he not trust Martial anymore? Is that what's happening?
You know what that tells you, Rachel? I keep saying to people, you can't take some of our transfers at face value. Right? That tells me he was just selling Lingard as a means to an end. He actually likes the player. Otherwise, you don't play him when he comes back. That doesn't make sense to you.
Well, he also played Daniel James, and then we saw him the next day.
This shows you Lingard's going to get games. He's going to get League Cup and FA Cup matches.
Do you know what's mad? If we didn't sell Daniel James, he would have come on when WanBishockaaa got sent off.
Dan James would have did well.
He would have made more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
He would
have come on.
Absolutely.
Would have half of these idiots that are more talented than him.
See, Indiana, he could have played in that left wing back position that you wanted when Luke Shaw was to go to the centre back position.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have been great in
1-0. Jadon Sancho was playing shit.
Yeah. Danny's had enough.
People telling me, is it the system and the management? I'm like, he's been there 4 games, he'll be fine. But ultimately, he's just not up to speed, and his confidence is a bit. He's a classic example of a player just out of sorts, coming to a new football club. Just everything today just pissed me off. Actually, just everything. Because actually, I've seen something try to say he didn't play well. I'm like, go honestly, don't let the end result. Like, don't lie about the first however many minutes it was. For me, if Pogba and Sancho are sharp, we go 2-0 up. They were openings to exploit.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Just that I couldn't believe, but I still. You can tell I'm traumatized here. Like,
yeah, I can.
That Lingard just.
It's been a big day for you.
Yeah.
Ruining my
congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My son was born today, and Man United want to ruin it. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, congratulations, Danny. Danny had his son born 9 o'clock this morning, people.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Let's hear it from him in the chat, please.
And
Smash the like button, subscribe as well.
Spaces.
I love how Indiana's using my joy to get some likes. Listen,
damn straight I am. I'm using them.
Oh yeah.
No, seriously, congratulations.
No, thank you.
What, Danny? Though, what do you see any? Do you see anything changing under Oli though? When these situations arise, do you see him changing anything? Because for me,
possibly it can change. It's just like just adapting the situation well.
Daddy in the details.
Like people say, what they say.
Daddy in the details.
Yeah,
Big up vibes.
that's a good one.
Yeah,
He's always Leanna. He's always learning from his mistakes, whether people admit it or not. It's just he keeps making new ones.
Is this?
yeah, this is part of the problem, though, isn't it?
Or when it gets more complicated. So if he just had to make normal subs for a 4-2-3-1, I think he would have got them right. But then you throw a little spanner in the works and he can't fucking adapt. So it's like, again, I've never said Oli win a league title or a Champions League. It's just, I wish the journey was just a bit fucking smoother this season. It's the first season.
Yeah.
I know it's the first game of the Champions League, but I'm not going. I need to see us be shit like drop points in 2 games. Then I'll be like, okay, fuck. Like, is it Atalanta or Villarreal next? Who is it?
Atlanta, I think.
Yeah.
Look, the thing is, I'm confident we're going to get through the groups. Like, people are going on like we're going to, go back into the Europa League. They think we're going to, lose the next game as well. I just like it might not be pretty, but we'll get through the groups. You know what I mean?
To what end, though?
No, look. Well, that depends on Oli and the players. If I'm honest with you.
But this is the thing, though. If Zidane was the manager, I wouldn't be expected to win the Champions League because of our midfield in the end.
No, the thing is, right?
You know what I mean?
I've said before. I think there's more chance of us winning the Champions League than the Premier League.
But if Zidane comes in today, I don't say because it's Zidane we win the title now.
No, I wouldn't say that either. But I've been saying that from before. Even though I expect us to go for a title challenge, I don't know if it's.
I don't
think our players are good enough.
Like, listen, if 2019-20 Martial was around, I'd be singing a different tune. You guys know this already.
Does 1920 Martial win us this game?
But Danny, he'd be sat on the bench anyway because we signed Ronaldo.
But Ronaldo's fucked with that. Ronaldo's fucked a lot of things up. That's why when someone in the space today said, "We're wasting Ronaldo's 2 years," like
we're wasting Ronaldo's 2 years.
Crybaby Aiden was crying.
Oh, what? United Aiden.
Fucking crybaby. If you see this, you fucking crybaby. I've sworn I'm gonna get this
Clip it.
I've sworn so much. I'm sorry, Indiana. I apologize.
Well, Danny, we've had worse on this channel, believe me.
Yeah, we've had worse on this channel. Yeah,
it's usually Vibes' fault as well.
We'll be more grounded on Grounded United on Thursday. Don't worry.
Yeah, should really take off this overlay actually. No, we're barely grounded. It's okay. It's okay.
I need Arsenal to lose in the Europa League.
They're not in the Europa League, Danny.
Are they not? They're not in the Europa
They're
League.
not in Europe.
No, they don't have any European.
What a pathetic football club. As bad as things are, I'm glad.
It's even better, Danny. They got Burnley this week, and I got the impression they think Burnley's a walk. So that should be good.
Not for them.
No, it's not for them. It's probably one of their toughest games. Burnley.
Arteta would do well to survive the month. He's dodged the bullet already. But so what do you guys think? Ollie's getting sacked anytime soon? You think he's going to fall off the cliff?
No,
he won't get sacked.
Or do you guys think this was a horrible reaction on his part and the players to going down to 10 men?
That one,
This has happened before.
Yeah, the PSG game was the same. We lost control in the PSG game as well. I know PSG are much better quality opposition, but the same sort of thing applies. Like in a big game where we need players to sort of have composure and they lose it completely. And this is when we lose one point.
The fact we're not good with 10 men.
Yeah, but this is the thing, though, right? It always comes back to the midfield. When you play with 10 men, right, you need players that have composure on the ball, who can keep the ball. And what we have, maybe we have one DM that can do it, but other than him, we have to hope that Fred or McTominay or whoever else has a 9 or 10 out. But this is what I'm saying, Danny. We have to hope that they have a 9 or a 10 out of 10 performance, basically, in terms of they have to be completely focused. Otherwise, if anything breaks that focus, then it's finished with those players. Do you know what I mean? So we have to hope that they don't play against us, basically. But if one doesn't play against us, someone else will. That's always seems to be the way with these players. Someone's always playing against us.
Rachel, they should know. They should know now what combinations work for certain situations.
Yes,
they should know this already.
I agree. This is the problem I have with Ollie in general, right? Like as everyone says, this is his third season, right? He's been with a lot of these players, apart from obviously the new signings. He's been with a lot of these players for 2.5, 3 seasons now. So at this point, he should know their strengths and weaknesses. He should know when they should stay on the pitch, when they shouldn't stay on the pitch. This is the point, right? Because he's been here long enough. It's not like he's been here 6 months and he's still getting to know his players. He knows these players. And this is where I say, when it comes to things like Bruno's erratic behavior and Pogba just having a poor game, for example, he needs to be brave enough to say, okay, I'm taking you off now. Because even though you're one of the more talented players, you're not being effective.
But Rachel, sorry, it's not a bravery thing. He's done that to Pogba. That's what's even.
But he hasn't really done it to Bruno.
No, he hasn't. He took off Bruno today, but it was after that flicker as well, like idiot.
Because I think with Ollie, it's sort of like, if I take Bruno off, then I'm not going to have that half chance of something coming out of nowhere. And I think that's where he is with Bruno. He's kind of like, he's sort of like, he's going to get an assist or a goal or a penalty. We'll get a penalty or anything. He's got to keep him on the pitch, unless he's, like you say, Rachel, really playing against us.
Yeah, this is the problem. I don't know. It's a difficult one. Like, this is what I mean. In that situation, you have to blame the manager for not taking him off sooner. But at the same time, I'm sorry, Bruno and Paul Pogba are classed as our senior players. People always talk about Bruno and Pogba's leadership skills, depending on which side of the fence you're on. They always talk about how much of a leader they are. So if you're a leader on the pitch, you're one of our senior players, you have to be the one that has composure. Simple as that. Yeah. They didn't show that today. And that's a problem I have. That's why I can't. Yes, I blame Ollie for a lot of the stuff that went on, but these players need to be better. It's not like we played an under-23s team today. We literally played probably our strongest team, arguably, in terms of the players we had on the pitch, bar Rashford. So what are the excuses for these players not doing their jobs?
No system.
There isn't one.
Can I just read that comment from Vibes? He said, apparently Ollie wanted to wait for Declan Rice. If the reports are true, then he decided to go into the season without sorting that out. It's on Ollie to find a way to make it work.
Well, I mean, Declan Rice ain't going to be much cheaper next summer, so
I agree.
It's we know, again, Lingard was supposed to be sold, and now he's playing matches for Manchester United.
Yeah.
Listen, look,
you've got a. There's a rabbit hole when it comes to Man United transfer policy.
The midfield thing bugs me, right? Because I don't agree with this whole waiting for Declan Rice thing. He's valued at 100 million this summer. Obviously, no one's going to pay that much money for him next summer because he has so many years on his contract. It's not going to half the price.
It'll be worth 80.
Exactly. That's exactly it. So at that point, how long are we going to wait for Declan Rice? Do you know what I mean? And what if something happens? What if something happens with Declan Rice and he loses form, or he gets injured and that ruins a certain aspect of his game? What do you do then? You need to have alternatives in place, and there were alternatives in place. There are alternatives in Europe. There are alternatives in the Premier League that we could have gotten in, and we chose not to. And it's not like we didn't have the players to sell either. Like, we had players that we could get rid of. So for me, there were no excuses not to get a midfielder. I don't care. Even with the Ronaldo signing, I'm sorry. Because what's next? Tchouaméni was available for about 25 to 30 million, by the way. Ruben Neves, even though I'm not the biggest fan of him, right? He was available for 30 million.
Neves would have made a difference today.
There were options.
Having a Neves in there would have made a massive difference today.
Yeah, because the thing is, right, with the midfield thing, I don't want 3 world-class midfielders. I don't care about that. You don't need 3 world-class midfielders. You need effective midfielders. That's all it is. So, we don't have to get a world-class DM. I'd love a world-class DM. If we can get someone who's effective, who can play the role and do what we need to progress forward, then so be it. Do you know what I mean? But now there's all these rumors about us going for Tchouaméni, Jude Bellingham, and who's the third one, and that, like, getting 1 or 2 of those. But, that's next summer. What about now? I want something for now that we can use in the next few years, not have to wait every single summer for this to be sorted out, because it's been a problem for many years now. It's a joke. Devin says, and Ndidi would be amazing. Yeah, he would be amazing. I agree. But I still think we need another midfield. I don't think I don't know. I'm a bit tired of this whole Pogba thing. I get he started the season well in terms of stats and that, but he's going to go through a patch where he's going to be ineffective. even though he's got 7 assists already, right? People think he's going to break the assist record, and I'm sitting there thinking we all know that Pogba's going to go through a stage where he's just not going to be effective. It's coming at some point. So
Kind of going through it now. He's just actually getting assists somehow. Yeah, these guys need to step it up. West Ham have Europa League, which is good, but yeah, we need a big response versus West Ham.
yeah,
I agree. And they haven't got Antonio either, have they?
WanBishockaaa.
Oh, he's suspended, isn't he?
WanBishockaaa should be exiled.
He won't be.
From the first team.
No, he won't be, because now that he's not playing Champions League, he'll start all the Premier League games regardless.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something though. If Dalot plays well in the Champions League games, I don't rate him that much, but if he does play well in the Champions League games and he looks solid, especially if Sancho's playing on the right and they have a good partnership, do you guys think Oli would look at that and say Dalot would be our starting right back? Do you think he would make the decision? So do we not think that's a problem in itself? Even if Dalot was like average defensively, but it still worked out because attacking wise he was brilliant.
I don't think Oli will play him if he feels for a second that the team will be exposed.
Yep.
He will go safety first.
And the team has been exposed.
Yeah.
But the team's been exposed with WanBishockaaa there.
Shout out to RDS.
Mm.
Yeah. If the going gets tough, McFred will be.
Can't hear you, Daniel.
I think McFred will be back sooner rather than later. And people complain, but you fucking see the structure of the team's better when you've got those two. As unfortunate as it is, that's just the reality of the situation. Yeah, because people may forget. I know people talk like McTominay was playing against Wolves, but he wasn't. He wasn't there. People say McFred, but he wasn't there. It's very, very rare you see McFred get torn apart like that in terms of shape, etc., etc. It's just,
I agree.
It's just an unfortunate fact. I'm not happy about it. Like,
no, it's true.
What it is what it is.
Because I ideally for me, I would have had, if he was available, I would have had Scott McTominay. I would have had, if you're going to keep that, if you're going to take Donny off, Scott McTominay and Matic in there. I would have played those two. I would have had. I probably still would have brought Jesse Lingard on. I probably would have, if it meant we were keeping the ball, because I think he does offer what others can't.
But then you play Greenwood. Greenwood keeps the ball.
That's a good point.
Up top, I don't know about that. I'm not convinced about that yet. I think Martial will keep the ball up top.
Yeah, Martial. That's true.
Martial.
I think if Greenwood was to come on, I think if Greenwood was to come on, because he likes to drop in deep and that, he'd need a runner to play off.
Yeah,
as well.
I agree.
That's the problem. Martial will hold up long enough for our team to push up, but I think Greenwood needs someone who's a runner, sort of, someone who can run beyond him so he can play it off to them and then make the runs into the box, sort of thing.
Actually, Was makes a great point here. He says, hold on, let me bring it up. He says, McFred won't happen though. Look at our forward options. Where does Pogba go?
Pogba goes on the left.
This is the thing. Like, Ollie's benched Pogba before. You think that won't happen again if he's not playing well? It will.
No, but I'm saying on the pitch, Pogba will play on the, I think he's been the best on the left. I don't think he's been good in the middle. Honestly, I think even when we played, at Southampton, right, before he got moved into the middle, I think he was one of our brightest players.
Yeah.
He was making movements. He was trying to create things. And he got moved to the middle, and then we lost control of the game completely. And Southampton started to pepper us a little bit for about good 10-15 minutes. So Pogba in the middle, he's just on the ball. He's too slow on the ball at times. It's starting to really bug me.
You watch Rachel. Rashford comes back. Rashford goes straight back on the left. Pogba goes into the middle, in my opinion. That's what we're doing.
If Rashford is fit and ready to go, right, and we see the Rashford we had, a couple of seasons ago, then fair enough, he comes in. But
as much as it bothers people, the end result is going to be Rashford does what he does. Rashford does what he says on the fucking tin. Yeah. Unlike some of these other players, like he is what he is, and he'll be true to himself.
You know what you're getting from him. Yeah.
You know what you're getting, even when he's playing shit. You know what you're getting. And I keep saying this to people. When Pogba's like that, you don't get anything. You don't get
That's right.
anything from him. Not nothing defensively. Just on the ball. Like I need to go look at his stats for offensive duels and defensive.
Big up,
duels.
Prime.
But just every single situation he found himself in, he came off worse for it. He lost every just terrible. Just
Yeah.
shocking, and people don't want to talk about Pogba. Like, how can you not talk about Pogba?
No, the one in the space where they said it was the first Champions League game, so I'm giving Pogba a pass, made me ill, like physically
Yeah.
sick. Like it was his first ever Champions League game in history of his career. Are you
Yeah.
serious right now? This guy's played in the Champions League final and he's won World Cups, and you want to say that it's his first Champions League game? Like, do me a favor.
The
Was a
excuses-
child- that was a
the
child
excuses
saying
annoy
that,
me.
though. That was a
I don't
child.
care. I don't care if he was 5 years old. I don't. This is shocking behavior.
I don't either.
Say things like that.
Man.
No, it's shocking. Honestly, people are insane.
Fanboys will deflect. That's the problem. I'm not a fanboy of anybody. Everyone can get it. Ollie can get it. Pogba, Bruno, WanBishockaaa,
I'm tired.
WanBishockaaa.
Do we think WanBishockaaa, yeah.
Oh, I'm dead.
Do we think Lindelof will end up going into right back or something stupid like that
No,
over
No.
Dallo?
it'll be Dallo and AWB.
You think
Oh,
Dallo Champions League?
Unless he
I
plays
think
Eric
Varane was
Bailly
rested
right back.
clearly as a health thing, just as a fitness thing. Raphael.
Wait,
Eric Bailly as a shower.
Eric Bailly could play right back. He's done it before.
Is Luke Shaw not a concern for you guys? He's concerned for me.
He is right now.
Yeah, we were speaking about it before you came about Luke Shaw. Like, he annoyed the crap out of me today. I don't like this thing that he does with the crosses. Really gets on my nerves. When there's a cross by the byline, he's so slow to close it down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, just to close it down.
close it down,
He's always been slow at doing that. It bugs me so much. And today, when you're 1-0 up and you've got 10 men, the fact that there was no urgency to go and close down that ball, and it ended up deflecting off of him because the ball was able to travel a bit and then come off of him was a joke. I'm sorry, I can't stand it. You're supposed to like confront it and block it. Because the guy, as soon as the guy got the ball, you knew he was going to cross it straight away. Just go and block it. And he just jogged towards him. We've seen this so many times. Like, he did it last season against Everton. He did it against Leicester. He's done it so many times. I'm tired. Like, that needs to stop right now. I mean, it should have stopped a year ago. But it is what it is. It needs to stop with him. I get the whole he's narrow thing, but the thing is, once the ball was put into that area, he has to close it down, and he's not closing it down.
I do not disagree.
Yeah, I agree, but I think, when's Tellez back?
Tellez is meh. If we're going to play Tellez, then it would be in a back three. He'd have to play as a
To
wing back.
Wes's point, yeah, Maguire and Shaw have not started the season well. This is the
Yeah, I
thing.
agree.
We can't carry passengers. And I have to, but again, the performance level, the tempo, the passing at 1-0, I think was good. That's why WanBishockaaa has robbed his team of a potentially good performance. And he should be taken into a dark. No, I'm not going to say that.
It's not finished that sentence. I don't think we were good, to be honest with you, prior to the sending off. I thought we were average. I thought we were decent in areas, and I think we were quite poor in some areas.
I think we had our moments, but again, I think a few players let us down.
Yeah.
Like Pogba and Sancho.
Mm-hmm.
Again.
Yeah, agreed.
And
Absolutely.
we're talking about the most creative players on the planet, not
I
doing the
thought-
business for us.
I thought we moved the ball a bit slow as well at times. Like, we moved
At
it quite
times,
slow.
but we could pick it up. Like, the passing lanes were there. Particularly the way Donny van de Beek figured out, I'm not going to play it forward and lose it. I'll just keep switching it to
Yeah, he did a couple of nice long balls.
Maguire. Maguire hitting those balls to Shaw was annoying because he actually had Fred available. And he kept doing that. That was annoying. But these are things I think we would have ironed out if we don't go down to flipping 10 men. And I got distracted. I've gone into the kitchen, made something for my son, and come back. Oh, it's a straight red. I'm like, what? I see WanBishockaaa looking dopey and high as usual. I'm like, did he get sent off? He got sent. Fucking hell. And it's hard, man. It's hard. I've seen even Fergie teams in Europe with 10 men. It's not easy. I don't care who you're playing against. It's not
Yeah,
easy.
this whole thing when they keep bringing up Chelsea and Tuchel is unbelievable, right? Because we saw them go to 10 men against other teams and not do so well. They got
Yeah,
battered.
but it doesn't count because of the context of the game. I'm just like,
Yeah.
stop sucking off Tuchel. Chelsea basically they had 2 attempts on goal in that second half. From they had a half an hour period where they had 15% possession, and that's where Liverpool should have scored, by the way. And again, goals change perception of performances and matches. And ultimately, they were in the same structure. Nothing dramatically changed for that group of players. They were in their 5-3-2, whatever system they play.
Yeah,
Whereas,
no, I agree.
we know these players are very, very delicate, and we
No,
don't have a specialist, not a single one. You change formations, there are fundamental issues. Bruno
Yeah.
thinks he can go from right central midfield to the left wing pressing people
no, it's crazy.
You're
It
never
really,
going to
when you're
take this
down to
out of his
10.
game, though. That's the problem. So,
I keep
and,
saying to
and
people that we have a collection of players whose fundamentals can be questionable. Everyone's
yeah,
Shaw's,
but
Maguire's, Wan-Bissaka's,
Danny,
Fred's,
it's
Pogba's.
fine to have players like that. It's fine to have players like that.
No, we've got too many.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
was saying
I
in the
agree.
space earlier what I would kill for a boring player like Rodri or Jordan Henderson.
facts.
Mm.
Just give me
I think Jordan
somebody
Henderson's
who's
underrated.
consistent in the basics.
Yeah, no,
It's
I agree.
why Cleverley and Anderson actually worked and won a league title.
Yeah,
Cleverly
Because
and Anderson went throughout the whole season though. They had that massive like it was the first. I remember it was the first half of the season they were doing really well. Then they got injured. Both of them got injured, didn't they? I think at
yeah,
different times. But the start we had to that season was brilliant up until what was it? Was it the 6-1? Was it the
all I
6-1?
remember is all they used to do is get it. Anderson was a bit like Fred on counters, drive with the ball. In possession, Cleverly just used to just recycle the ball, and then from the edge of the box hit the crosses that you see Bruno do. That's literally all he did every single game, the same things, and he just maintained his concentration doing it. That's it. That's it. You've got good wingers, you've got some decent strikers, go score goals.
Yeah.
yeah,
But with this team, Fred was good today, so I'm not going to speak about Fred, but just generally,
Yeah.
can you just do the basic and just spread the play, recycle it, without me having to message Indiana and say nasty things about the player?
I was waiting for that.
yeah.
The thing is, Donny was
Baby
doing
daddy
that.
Fred.
I have to say, Donny was spreading the play. Like there was a couple of times where he played too long. Like he was playing a couple of long balls, and I was like, you don't normally see that from him. The fact that he's chosen to do that because there weren't many good options in front of him was interesting in itself.
You could see he was on the limit with those. He hit one long ball to Shaw. Shaw improvised and made it, but he was on the limit with those long passes.
No, but it's the fact that he attempted them. He doesn't attempt them
Yeah.
often. That says a lot. When a player is, all about short passes, and he goes long twice in the space of 5 to 7 minutes. That says a lot about what's going on in the game. To be honest with you, but
Yeah.
disappointing to be honest with you. Why says thing with Tuchel, there was organisation and structure. The club was isolated, of course, with 10 men.
Yeah,
But
but
he still
again,
had some foothold in the game.
my point is he didn't change his system and then do what you're saying. It's the same system. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I agree, Wes. I think he's a good footballer. I think he's really underrated. I don't think he's an amazing one. But I think he's a good player. He's really improved in the last few seasons. He's been
Yeah, it's
very
just the
good.
fundamentals. And again, people underestimate decision making and concentration levels.
Mm.
You cannot.
It's
But
all
it's
about
got
being
spoke
saucy,
about a lot.
Danny. Please. It's all
And
about your
yeah,
ability.
but the one thing Liverpool have got is balance. That's
Yeah.
key to midfield. You don't have to be world class like Rachel said earlier, but you've got to have a balanced midfield.
And they got the fullbacks to even add even more balance.
Yeah, exactly.
But we've got
Exactly
one
that.
shambles.
Yeah, they also got Fabinho as well. Fabinho and Jordan Henderson, by
Yep.
the way.
Yeah.
Both players are solid.
Fabinho is very underrated as well, by the way.
No, I think
Very
he's the best DM in the world personally.
Even if you look at Chelsea, right, minus Saul, all like
So
Kovacic, right, on his worst day is going to progress the ball and run past people.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
There might
Yeah.
not be a killer pass at the end of it or a shot or a goal, but at least you can say that's one thing that in default mode, Rachel will get it in his base form. Doesn't have to be Super Saiyan to dribble past people and progress the ball. Jorginho in his base mode is just going to be positionally intelligent and spread the ball. Kante in base mode, you probably just get the box-to-box guy that defends. Whether or not he dribbles past people and does other things is another matter, but he's world class, isn't it? Again, Fabinho fundamentals, Jordan Henderson, like Rodri. Again, Rodri's not great. He just recycles the ball well. We don't have players who we can allow just to do that. If you task any one of them for 5 games, all I need you to do is just recycle the ball. None of them could do it.
Yeah.
None of them could do it.
Yeah.
Because their concentration levels and just they got bad habits. So yeah, it's just.
Why says Ward-Prowse gets into our midfield, so does Basuma. These teams will be bottom 10.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You've got teams who are going to finish 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th with better central midfielders than us. Arsenal can finish 8th this season. Thomas Partey would start for us.
I mean, let's be honest.
Xhaka.
Even Xhaka would, yeah. The thing with Xhaka, he's not a bad footballer. He's just he makes mistakes and he's quite slow. But in terms of his actual the way he plays football, I think he's a good footballer. Maybe just the league sometimes is a bit too much for him. But I think he's a good footballer. That's why he looks so good for international. Why he looks so good in Germany. He had players around him that just worked for him, and he could just play his own game. He just dictated the games. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just need that balance. Devin says, why on earth did we not go all in for Fabinho? I think he's a world-class DM. He just mops up and sprays the ball out wide.
I never believed actually in for him. You know who puts that? It's Mark Goldbridge spent the whole summer lying to United fans that we were in for him. So the fan base believed we were never in for Fabinho.
Well, we should have been, though. Instead of getting Matic, we got Matic that summer, didn't we? It was the season after.
No, you've got it wrong. You've got it wrong. The question has to be Mourinho's first season. There was a certain player that is a Mourinho player that we didn't even go for. And by the way, the team that got him, Chelsea, I think they won the Europa League that year, maybe. But they just fell off a cliff with whoever they fell off. I can't remember who was it. Basically, Kante. We could have got Kante in Mourinho's first season. Could have got him, and I'll never.
We actually in for him.
I'm not about to cry, Charlie. I'm just tired. Like, really tired.
I've had tears falling out my eyes. I can't believe we never went for Kante. I never understand it.
I didn't even know we were in for him, to be fair.
No, we weren't in for him. That's even worse. He plays for Leicester. You sign Mourinho as your manager, and Mourinho doesn't ask for Kante. He goes and gets Pogba instead.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Didn't even realise. Was says McTominay has good fundamentals when he's at it. That's why I have time for him. Balance-wise, if needed. No, that's a fair point. It's really funny, right? Whenever McTominay's injured and unavailable, people scream out for McTominay. Apart from the staunch McTominay haters, want to call them the same thing. But
at some point,
the
sad reality hits you at some point, and what I feel bad about actually, just very quickly, is WanBishocka's just robbed Van de Beek the opportunity to play 90 minutes. And
yeah,
going to show that he can play in that team.
And Sancho as well, really.
Yeah.
But then I think Donny should have stayed on. So, I mean, who really robbed him?
I think Sancho. I think if we didn't score another goal, Sancho was coming off for Greenwood anyway. No,
I think he would have come off, but he still needed some more time to play with his team. Like, he was taken off. When he was taken off half time, wasn't he? No, it was before that. He came off a Dalla, didn't he? So when WanBishockaa got sent off, that was like 35 to 37 minutes. He got taken off. So he barely got any time to play, really. So, like, Sancho needs to play more games. He'll get better throughout the season, of course, but he does need to play games.
Yeah, he's getting better now. We can see it. He's literally game by game, week by week. I just hope he doesn't get injured.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So he needs to be playing. These minutes are good for him. Getting Sancho.
Oli knows that. That's why Oli keeps playing him.
Yeah, but I don't know. The WanBishockaa thing.
Also, you have to justify spending like 90-odd million on a player. Like, if you're not going to play
one
No, but he will justify his price though. I believe that. I rate him very highly, David Sancho.
Sorry, I'm done with WanBishockaa. I'm done with him.
You were done with him at the start of last season.
Yeah, I think all three of us.
But I'm even more to the point where I stop talking about him because I feel
You're suing him now.
he's a young player. Some people have tweeted me about it, like, oh, why'd you get onto him so much? He could improve.
Oh, who was it in the space? There was a guy in the space earlier that was talking about Crystal Palace's coaches, and they literally said they feel like they've coached him as much as they possibly can, as in he won't get any.
People be making stuff up for each other. I can't. At that point, I'm just
True.
like, I don't know who told you that, but you can lie. It's fine.
I think you were in the space. I think you were in the space. No, but the thing is, the reason why I thought it was because you were in the space and you didn't shut it down.
Yeah,
Normally
because I'm tired. I'm just tired. just for 4 hours, I'm just listening to people.
Damn it! Now I've got to do my own research.
Oli.
The best thing is, normally, Danny, when I hear someone say something, I message Amiros, and I just put 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Danny. That's what I put. And then you normally jump in around that time. Tell them about themselves, make your point, put your mic on mute. Wait for the next
plus,
one.
that was one of those spaces where if you were,
It's like a sniper.
If you weren't going in on Ollie, you'd get interrupted, and then the Johnny would be like, oh yeah, so this person speak, tell me about the game. Then Ollie outer interrupts, they get to speak. Then Ollie inner comes in. No, let's go back to so. I was just tired at that point. It was like, fuck it, there's no point.
Yeah.
There's no point. To the point where someone messaged me like, so amount of messages I've got, dude, how you got the patience to be in this space?
You know what? I've got messages like that, and I'm only a listener most of the time. People say, why do you always listen to these spaces? They're so bad. I'm just curious, and I find it just entertaining, to be honest with you. Some of the things that people say don't even make sense. So.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, how some people, because you do get individuals who have their own opinions. For me it's the whole recycled, regurgitated stuff that does my head in. But when people come in with their own opinions and their own views, that's quite refreshing. I quite like that. Whether they're right or wrong, I quite like that there's people at least thinking outside the box or just putting their own opinion to it. It's the regurgitated stuff that does my head in, just the same old thing over and over again.
No,
a YouTuber says something and everyone comes in and repeats it.
And again, they have to wait for days like this, because there's days when you can't come into certain spaces and talk shit. There's no system. I can't see what we're trying to do. They just wait. There's laying in wait. Just in the football terrorist group chat, I think it was Kate put today on. Oh, the Maguire hate's out. Yeah, because they've had to shut up while he's been playing well. Yeah. They're just waiting. That's all they're doing. They're just waiting. Maguire, little bad period. I'm jumping back out. Told you he's not any good.
Yeah.
So yeah, not much you can do about.
What? Ollie is hindering. Come on, Indiana. What?
Ollie is hindering.
Explain that.
Ollie's hindering the team. Come on, Indiana. Indiana, it just has to be Ollie. You can't talk about anybody else.
But I've already said this. Go back and watch the start. Watch the start.
No, it doesn't matter.
Watch the beginning of it. It does matter. It does matter. Do you know what's really weird? Do you know what's crazy, right? Because I've said like about the structure of the club, the positive things that Ollie's done.
No algebras. There's no hexagons.
Yeah, big up vibes. It's always fun.
I love vibes, man.
Yeah,
because I've said about the positives that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has actually brought to the club, that automatically to other people makes me the biggest Ollie inner ever. And so I'm constantly told, see, how can you explain that? Or why are you Ollie in? And I'm just like, what's wrong with you? Why are you not fucking listening to what I'm saying? Like, why is it that I have to be either one side or the other? Why do I have to agree with either everybody who's Ollie in or agree with everybody who's Ollie out? Like, I'm never going to be like that. That's not going to happen. Wazza,
yeah, there was
Crypto,
one point in the space
where are you?
Like, I don't want semantics right now. I'm like, you're going to get fucking semantics. What do you mean? You don't want semantics?
Mate,
Before you read this, Rachel, hang on 1 second. Make sure you go and follow Was, people. You can find him. Was, drop your Twitter handle in the chat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Was. Listen, I love Bruno. He can get it any day of the week. I will criticize Bruno. Only player I protect a little bit is Rashford, just because the low IQ mob, I can't give them any breathing room.
It's not even that. Have you seen the stick that Rashford's got because he wished Harvey Elliott well? Ah, I thought it was shocking. I saw it yesterday and I quoted it. And I
No,
was like,
I'm lucky. I tell people all the time, yeah, my timeline's well curated.
No. Rashford literally
imagine.
sent out the message, and I was looking at the comments in response to it, and everyone was asking him for sending the tweet, and I just thought that was unbelievable. Why is he getting stick for that now? Every little thing that he does, it's always PR merchant or whatever.
As sad as it is, yeah, like ultimately, like these people, like if you just understand the real world, it makes sense. We have these people in football. It makes sense. It's just,
Hey guys.
It's like when the streaker came onto the pitch. Do you remember when the streaker, the pitch invader came on?
Oh yeah.
And the commentator's like, he doesn't understand his idiots. I'm like, listen, man, there's like there's 40,000 people. You're gonna get one idiot.
Yeah, probably about 39,000.
You're gonna get an idiot.
Vibes, man. This guy makes me laugh. Also, where did XT come from? Seriously, which Excel spreadsheet worker decided to bring this into football?
Yeah, expected threat. That's what that is.
What does that mean?
Yeah, expected threat is now, is as it sounds. It's the new X.
I thought you're either threat or you're
but
not.
how do you calculate that?
So basically,
how long until it's expected pass?
It's where a player receives the football in relation to the shape of the other team.
I really don't like the expected stats. I'm not a fan of them at all.
I've literally just found a way to examine them more. I might waste about 10 of my Y Scout views to look at flaws in it, because basically I can look at the XG in a game, and then it's telling me this shot from Greenwood was 0.1 XG, this attempt from Maguire was 0.3 XG. I haven't wasted my video allocations to watch it, but I'm curious, and then it accumulates to give you a whole score.
All I know is that Greenwood outperformed his XG. That's all I know. He always scores chances that aren't likely, basically, which is very impressive because he's
they're
doing
likely according to his technique and shooting ability. That's why XG can't be applied across the board. These people that create these things, by the way, when they create these models, these people are scientists, right? So when they create these models, there'll be a paper on it and they'll tell you the constraints. But by the time it goes out into the market, no one's telling you what the constraints of these things are.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. No, Vibes kills me. He goes, can we have excess for Fred? Expected sermons. Oh,
wow. We need XDD. Indiana, what does XDD stand for with Fred?
Expected dilly-dallies.
There we go. How many expected dilly-dallies are we going to get from Fred in the following game? Or expected diver to delay.
RDS, what's your thoughts?
Tactical masterclass, right?
Yeah, that was
from Wagner.
That was not well, to be fair, he didn't he get that 1-1 draw against us again when he was at Huddersfield? It was the penultimate game of the season, I think. So 1-1, so he knows how to play against Ollie, I guess. So, but yeah, to be honest, like even when we scored the goal, I never actually felt that we were actually in control of the game. I think a lot of people overreacted. This kind of idea that before the red card we were dominating them, and VDB was some playmaker from the midfield, and Sancho was popping off, and everything was fine. Like maybe that's the game that people watch, but for me, her young boys didn't look uncomfortable. So they were at home, got a good crowd. They looked comfortable on the ball as well, so they were obviously willing to sort of hit us on the break. They've already seen that we're quite vulnerable on the break against counter-attacks. Ollie, Newcastle, to be fair, on the weekend did us on the break several times, just couldn't really finish their chances. It was a red card, maybe 2-3 years ago, it's not a red card. But we know UEFA obviously are clapping down, so it is what it is. I think Wan-Bissaka's, this is one thing where, Wan-Bissaka's first touch, taking it away from at times is a problem, but at the end of the day, it is only his first red card thing, whilst I can't want to go completely on him.
No,
But
it's not before.
we still, I personally thought it was a wrong decision for us to go to a back five and basically cede the entire possession to young boys. I cannot believe that the squad that we have assembled now, even with 10 men, is still significantly bad. That you have to see, like, fair enough if this was, I don't know, prime PSG, then I'd be like, okay, fair enough, we can do that. But this is young boys.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me the squad that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has that is accessible to him, he doesn't deem to be good enough to at least, I'm not saying go gun blazing, but at least kind of like at least have some of the ball, have some control over the game, and maybe even take it to young boys. That's what surprised me, to be honest. I didn't think that he'd be that scared to do that, even though young boys weren't obviously a bad side. And the second half stats show that we just did nothing. We did absolutely nothing. We just let them attack. He obviously took off Van der Beek, left Fred on. I don't think Fred had a terrible second
Fred
half.
was good in the second half.
Yeah, he was good.
He was the only person who, when he won it back, his first pass found somebody.
Yeah.
The only
one. Luke Shaw wasn't really closing down as much as I would like. They were starting to annoy me at times. So, like, it wasn't as close as he could be. And at the end of the day, like, Lingard, it's unlucky, so I was mad. I'm still somewhat mad, but it wasn't, he made a mistake. It's as simple as that. So, I do wonder why he didn't try and play Greenwood. I'm not saying Greenwood is a thing, but maybe Greenwood have given us maybe something a bit different, So just making more intelligent runs. I don't know, like just based purely on the form that he's been in, maybe could have given something different. I don't know, but yeah. He's put himself under unnecessary pressure already, and after this game, I think against West Ham, looking at our next 10 games, we're like going to be going into quite a difficult run. Now, knowing Ollie, that's when it's like job is on the line. He now goes on an amazing run, these 10 games in a row. So maybe it'll be fine. So, but it's.
Just let me ask you. Wan-Bissaka gets a red card. Who do you bring on? Who do you take off? How do you line up?
I would probably have gone with the back three. So maybe you could have played like Dallo, Maguire, Lindelof, and then maybe like Luke Shaw, for example, in a back three, and then because he took off. What did he do? He took off Van der Beek.
He took off Sancho first.
Sancho.
Yeah.
Is it? Do you think it's bad that we don't even know what we would do?
I don't think that.
Because I
don't think he necessarily should have brought on another defender, Varane. I think he could have gone to a back three with playing Shaw, Maguire, and Lindelof, because they played in a back three.
You know what, though, RDS? The way Varane was defending initially, I don't think I understood it. I don't think we would have. Indiana's got a point. I think ultimately there were 3 players on that pitch that had to come off, and he only took 2 of them off, and he took an age to get off Bruno, and Pogba finished the game. When we were 1-0 up, of attacking players, to be fair, Bruno's not actually. I'm wrong. Bruno was actually playing.
For me, it's Sancho, Ronaldo.
Yeah, but
and
Pogba
Bruno.
and Sancho in particular, when we had 11 men, they were our worst two attackers.
Yeah.
They were our worst two attackers. And Pogba in particular, just if anything on balance, you should have taken off Pogba because Sancho did a few things right. Pogba did nothing right. Nothing right in that first half. Nothing right in the second half. It's one of his worst performances I've ever seen. But he's lucky Oli made bigger mistakes than whatever he did. So he'll get a pass from it from his fanboys. But I've got to go, guys. I'm absolutely knackered and full sleep. But
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up anyway. I got work
man.
at 6 a.m.
just
so I have to
disgraceful.
go as well.
Absolutely disgraceful.
It's what it is, man. But listen, people, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back Thursday for Grounded United. What's on tomorrow, Rachel?
Grounded Chelsea is on tomorrow, and
They're not going to be grounded.
yeah, well, what about
Also,
the big six show as well?
I know everyone's quickly going, but any just general thoughts on because obviously because WanBishockaaa is obviously suspended for 3 games. Does Dalot look like? What people's thoughts on kind of Dalot just in general? Is he would he be a somewhat decent replacement?
No.
I mean, he's going to be the replacement regardless. So
yeah.
He's our Champions League right back.
I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't be surprised if Bailly plays right back. I'm not joking.
Or Lindelof.
I'm not joking.
I think the Champions League kind of suits Dalot anyway. So
yeah, maybe.
Again, I've always said the problem with people with fullbacks like him is that they can't defend in the Premier League. Europe's not a problem. You'll see these fullbacks thrive in Europe all the time. It's just in foreign leagues, but in the Premier League, that's why you don't see wing backs thriving here. It's just not a wing back. Even for me, he's a wing back. But
yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah, we get to see him versus Villarreal and Atalanta. Can't wait.
Yeah, he did have a decent season at Milan, to be fair. So from what Milan tells me. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Right, let's wrap up, Rachel.
Okay.
Yeah, people, take care, and Grounded Chelsea tomorrow. Maybe the Big Six show. I don't know about that one. And then on Thursday, we are back with Grounded United. So you'll be seeing Danny again, but he'll be swearing a lot less because he won't be in a bad mood. Then Friday is obviously Grounded Tottenham and Broadwatch. So we will see you guys when we see you. Cheers, Devon. Hope to see you on Thursday as well. But yeah, thanks everyone, and we will speak to you very
Peace.
Oh,